Hey guys, Morphologist here, and welcome back. So in a lot of videos I've done recently, I've had a real strong purpose in the video, like in my Architect Reviews videos, where I discuss my perspective of the various designs in Star Citizen from my perspective as an architect. But I didn't really have any content that really fit into the niche where we just talk about Star Citizen, some of the really cool ideas that they've had, and kind of what they could become, sort of like food for thought sorts of episodes. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to discuss it because somebody recently on the forums, actually Reddit, posted something about Derelict Ships. It was an idea that came out in an Around the Verse over a year ago and has kind of been forgotten by the community as a whole. Now, it is in the game, to some extent. You can find a Derelict Javelin on Daymar. A lot of people have been able to locate it on various occasions. You can even find a Derelict Freelancer on the surface of Delamar for one of the missions, and even some wrecks float out in space. I believe I found a Caterpillar and a Starfarer. But they're not really to the level of lore that the images showed in this presentation, where it looked like people were actually camping out in the wreckage and that there was a story that you could find. And I thought, what a great solution this could be to one of the primary critiques I have had about Star Citizen's design, about its architecture, and that's how homogeneous it is. Now, there's a lore behind this, a lore reason behind it. A lot of these buildings are built by the same company and they're prefabs before they're placed on surfaces. I'm of course talking about both space stations and planetary outposts. But because they're all more or less the same, it really hasn't encouraged me and probably many of you to go and visit them unless you've got a real reason to do so, like a mission. And so I think that if you could imagine for a moment you going and delivering packages or picking up things from these locations, or even happening upon them yourself and finding an untraceable trader that can give you some valuable item, isn't that a bit more interesting? Doesn't that make the size of these planets all the more interesting because now there's a reason to actually explore them? And it's a shame because planets like Hurston, for example, already do have quite a bit of detail in them. Certainly there are places that have seemed to have been placed intentionally, like little mining outposts and stuff that's not on the map. And it's a shame that because they're all just so similar that it's not really encouraged people to go out and explore these places of interest, these places of potential risk and reward. So I submit to you that this is a conversation worth discussing if you do care about Star Citizen having some really interesting gameplay in the future. And I invite you to explore those ideas in the comment section below and bring it maybe even to the CIG forums and bring this back up again and remind them that they had a really great idea that we all don't want them to forget about. Because after all, what was the point of all the effort of making these planets if exploring them isn't even all that interesting? And I further submit that it doesn't even have to be something overly complex or with a gameplay attribute associated with it, a mission associated with it. If it's just something that we could find and we know is potentially out there, that adds a level of depth for a little bit more input on the side of CIG. Of course, I'm not downplaying that this could be difficult to do. I'm not a game designer, of course, and I know that it will take some time and effort on the part of CIG. So I'm not trying to be harsh on them and say that, yell at them and tell them that they should have had this done already. Though I do want to say that it would be pretty cool if they could prioritize this a little bit more, because we already do have planets. We just don't have a reason to go out and explore them. And probably some of you are already wondering, wait, could there be stuff out there we haven't found yet? And some of you may already even be in-game looking for them. And that's kind of the point. So I hope you found this video interesting and it sparked some sort of cool conversation down in the comments section below. And with any luck, it'll reach CIG. And we'll see it in some future post by the developers or even an ATV. Do you have something though that maybe I missed? Something you found on one of the planet or moon surfaces that nobody else has found? Let me know down in the comments section below. I'd love to know what you guys have discovered. And if I've done this video well enough, with any luck, I'll see you guys next time.